Hello and welcome to another class in Stefan's classroom. My name is Stefan Eriksson, and today I am joined by... who am I joined by the way?
You're joined by Jesper. We're gonna do some splashing today, man.
That is correct. We're going to do an epic splash tier list. So first, a big shout out to Lee, who actually posted and made this tier list we can make. So we're going to simply just take the cards put on here, which you can all find back in the epic splash format. You may think, what the hell is epic splash? And is Stefan's classroom now an epic splash channel? Well, partially. We are doing a lot of epic splash videos because it's a great format. But more importantly, if you want to learn more about epic splash, you can watch the previous videos or check the link below. That is a document that describes the entire format, all the rules, all the regulations, what cards can be played and whatnot. It's easy, it's fun, it's a little stupid, but that's the whole point of epic splash. It is definitely epic. More importantly, and also about a disclaimer here today, so before me and Jesper starts with this wonderful tier list you can see here, we're doing the cards that are posted here by Lee, so they may miss a few or not, but you know what? We take the cards there are. And what about the tier list, Jesper? Do you have anything to say about that one specifically?
I mean, we're gonna have loads of fun with it, first of all. But second of all, we also get to have some discussions about our different card choices that we probably have in our own epic splash decks, right? Because we all try to reach our epic splash tier with all our deck building, but of course we're gonna have some differences upon that.
Indeed, indeed. And as you can see on my tier list here, it ranks from epic splash tier, so that's the S tier, A through E, and then do you even splash, bro? So that is the list we're going to go here, and if it's not clear, that is a fail, of course, so the card is absolutely bad. We're mostly going to rank the cards on how good they are. Yes, there are a lot of funny cards out there, and that's also part of epic splash, but we're going to really try and rank how good we think the individual cards are. You ready to go?
Yep. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
We're going to open up with Among Us. And what do we think about Among Us, Jesper?
I mean, Among Us is mostly known for a delinquent combo, of course. A lot of people have asked me in the past if it works on Team Rockets, but Among Us has to be discarded from hand, not deck. And therefore, I mean, of course, it works mostly with delinquent. And in this format, apart from our OG Epic Splash format, Among Us is played a bit less. And with the thing that you have to have Among Us in hand once delinquent is played, I'd actually put it in a C tier category because it doesn't get pulled off.
What the hell are you? Oh, stop right there. No, what? Jesper, that is a clear-cut epic splash tier card. It is absolutely one of the best cards in this whole format. Anything saying otherwise, you're just plain wrong. God, Jesper, how can you think of this? My opinion about you is just even less than usual. Jesus.
It's because of the amount you pull it off nowadays. And it's not enough to the point where it's good. Because in this format, you have lots more options to go through your deck faster. And you go for actually the Evolutions Exodia combo a lot faster than you could in the OG format. And therefore, the Among Us has kind of lost its power. Yes, it's incredible when you pull it off, yes.
Yeah,
but the amount of delinquent actually being played is less.
That alone is a solid, I can live with an A tier. C tier, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking?
It just doesn't happen enough, dude. That's why.
The card is so strong. There's nothing better than being, ha, you activated my trap card. And just wait what's going to happen in standard format soon. People may even play Among Us, Jesper.
I hope. I for sure I'm going to pack Among Us in my deck because, I mean, I always love a good old trap card like a power spray, right? So that's the closer we get to it.
So Jesper, this is excellent. This is an A tier card. There, let's go on. Let's move on. Epic.
You vetoed me, dude.
Now, what's coming up next? I see an arcade game.
Yes.
Now, I think we have a contender for Do You Even Splash Bro card. Because what does the card do again, Jesper? For those who don't know it.
Yes, so you shuffle your deck, and after you shuffle your deck, you flip the top two cards. If the cards are the same, you can put both into your hand. If they're not, well, you shuffle them back in.
Are you correct? Isn't it top 3, and if 2 of them are the same?
I think it's top 2, right?
I think it's top 3, and if 2 of them
it's actually top 3, yes. Otherwise, that would have been even more trash. Yes, it is top 3, you flip, but still... I actually know cards, like, there are cards that are worse. I'd actually say an E tier for this. I do remember in the video that we made a while back that you did play arcade.
I played it because it's funny. For fun, I'll give it a much higher tier, but for actually how good the card is trash. The card is so bad.
We actually, if you think about it, right, depending on how you build your deck, arcade game can actually be somewhat legit, right?
Okay, but then you have to build your list. So for people who are not really familiar with Epic Splash, we have a lot of card restrictions in the sense that many cards you can only play one, maybe two. So if you want to play arcade game, heck, you need to play already very bad cards so you can play multiple copy of bad cards.
Yeah, and that's gonna be an issue with it. But at least arcade game can, in those circumstances, give you some leeway of like drawing for your deck, of course, because
E tier.
the
E tier.
even
E tier. I
yeah
know people are not here to listen to you. You. We're going to E tier.
yeah that's what I say. It's here exactly.
Fine, fine, fine. Blaine's Gamble.
Yes.
That is a good card. I love Blaine's Gamble.
Awesome card. I remember
Oh,
I beat you with it. So
yeah.
that's definitely at least an A tier for me, if not an S, because that card is insane in later stages of the game.
I think it's insane because you can pull off the combo, but for me it just feels like a strong B tier, B for Blaine tier, because all these cards have huge downsides as well. Like
Yeah, but then again, I mean, Epic Splash is a given if you name Stefan that you're gonna flip heads on the important times, right?
well,
So
that is correct, and that's for people who don't know. We made a first recording of the game, and I epic splashed hit you 7 times in a row, but of course that recording was not good, so we had to.
doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, right, right, right. So I'm voting B for Blaine tier, but are you really? Or can we maybe talk about a low A?
Well, I would say a low A in this case because the upside is just so huge that you can't look away from it. And we still gotta, if we put Blaine's Gamble at least in a B tier,
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot in the A tier.
I put it below Among Us then.
Yes.
What about Blaine's Last Resort? I find that to be a slightly weaker card because it has a condition that's of course pretty rough.
Yeah, and we don't have any way of like controlling. That could be a last card. We don't have any like Ultra Ball effects or that sorts.
No.
So the literally only combo you can play with Blaine's Last Resort is like you maintain 2 cards off your hand and draw a card you can play.
So,
and it has to be not like a card flip game or something like that. It has to be a card that just could be benched, like energies or magic cards.
Sure. So I'm feeling like this is indeed a B for Blaine tier, or maybe even C tier.
I'd say a C tier for sure.
We're good with that. Then we have a more Blaine cards because one thing people are going to see about this Epic Splash, we love our Blaine cards because they're just so much fun. And now we're left with Blaine's quiz number 2, I think it's called.
Yes.
The names are so small on my screen I can't read this. I'm basing this on pure memory. I don't even remember all the restrictions that we have. I actually have to open Epic Splash on a separate list here to make sure we can see all the restrictions. But yeah, it's definitely a good card, this one. It's definitely stronger than a C tier. For me, I'm looking more like it's almost a solid draw 2. Because what you do with the card is you guess on a trainer. That's just highest probability. So I'll put it on B tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, we actually just agreed this easily?
Yes, very.
And I just checked also, you can play 2 of this card, so that's wonderful. Now, we have another B card, and that's Brock. And now I just realized that the whole thing is written in alphabetical order. I only realized that now. Now, so Brock, what the hell does Brock do? Heal some damage, right?
Yeah, remove 1 damage counter from each of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it.
That sounds...
It's the direct counter to Digger.
Digger is like the best card in the format in my opinion. Or it can partially also help if you got damage with Rocket's Sneaky Gym or whatever it's called. Rocket's Gym.
It's also like if you get
Minefield?
Epic Splash for 10 under a Parallel City, but it's so circumstantial, right? And I'd say I would not include Brock in my deck because there's just so many cards that are better. And therefore I'm also just thinking like that almost is a D, like that is a definite D tier, maybe even Splash Bro.
Yeah, and so here's the fun part about it. I look at the list and we only allow 1 in the deck. Like we could even go, and this should be up for revision to allow more. That's how bad the card actually is.
We should be able to allow 4 because the card is so inherently bad.
Yeah, but so I'm making some notes here as we go on. Brock +1, but what do we learn here? Brock plus something. In any case, card's bad. I move for E tier. But above the arcade game.
I'd agree.
I still find Arcade Game worse because it's
I mean,
actually a
Arcade
card
Game is the worst card we hit so far, so yeah, I agree with
so
it.
far. And then now we're moving into Buddy Buddy Rescue. So without further ado, I'm gonna put this into Epic Splash Tier, and I take no arguments about that card.
The Brock.
No, Buddy Buddy Rescue.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's definitely Epic Splash here, dude. I mean, it is like you get to pick up an Evolutions card from your discard pile. I mean, it's one of the biggest win cons is to play Buddy Buddy Rescue and
Yeah.
win.
And just also like, well, there's a downside with the card. As always, you could force a tie. It is one of the rare instances, or you can make your opponent win. I want an Epic
No, we
Splash
don't
game on
have
this.
any. We don't have any ties. It's just whoever like fishes out the evolutions first.
I think you need to remember the regulations here, and say you check for the
Oh
win
yeah, did we
condition.
do that?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
Buddy Buddy
that's
Rescue
right.
first, and then you could force a tie if both players hit all, well, Exodia pieces,
Actually,
but all
actually, we
evolutions.
could make the rule on Buddy Bar Rescue since it says your opponent chooses first.
Which means that
That
can have a downside. Your opponent can win.
yeah. So I actually think on Buddy Bar Rescue the ruling should be your opponent wins because they get to pull it off first technically.
Now, regardless, it feels like the same if you have all the evolutions in the opening hand, which you can win with in this game, by the way. So suppose there's the opportunity that both players have it at the same time, then it becomes a tie, even though you may show it first.
Yep.
But okay, you know what? This is an A tier card. It's not an Epic Splash tier anymore because there's a downside to it. I see Epic Splash tier, like S tier, as like a card with literally no downsides.
The holy grail.
The holy splash. The holy splash. But I will be willing to say that this is the highest A tier card we had so far.
Oh yes, for sure.
What do we have next? What's coming up next?
We got card flip game.
Oh,
And as you said with your Blaine's quiz, number 2, guaranteed draw 2, I'd argue this is more guaranteed draw 2.
wait, I actually just misinterpreted Blaine's quiz. So just to clear that up, you pick another card from your hand and put down, and make your opponent guess whether it's an energy trainer or a Pokemon. I actually misplaced it with the card flip machine, which I think is even funnier and even better.
The card flip game is like we're almost discussing the Epic Splash tier here.
No, whoa,
Dude, listen. You're flipping like you're always saying you flip opponent's prize card, and you're always saying trainer.
You're
It
always saying
almost
that doesn't mean it has no downsides. Like, come on. Like, I don't know what you're thinking.
there's not the same amount of downside as Blaine's though. There's no downside. If he gets wrong, well,
because Blaine has mind game effect. You can also just say, everybody will think, oh, he puts an energy because he has an energy down, or you can put an evolution down or whatever. There's skill involved a bit with Blaine's quiz. There's skill. The card flip machine
there's also skill with card flip game. Like if you have a Millennium Eye, you can just see what they have, and then boom.
You know what? My opinion of you just dropped another tier, if that's even possible, because that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference that was no place to have here. No. So that means that this one here automatically become B tier.
No, that has to be an A. You're like that. There's no
Yu-Gi-Oh references like this. No. Yes, but just no. You can instead start working about computer era instead.
Yeah. That's a weird one, right?
I think
none of us included in our decks.
No, but it got actually allowed
later. It got added late. It got added later. It does have clear potential, right?
This card is we played an Epic Splash tournament in my house a couple of weeks back, and I don't remember if I played the card. I think I did, but I never got to use it. But the thing is, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous because you both draw 5.
Yeah, we're speaking downsides here, right? Because your turn ends.
Your turn ends, and we can game finishing. Sure, you can, like, if you want to dig for game, perfect. But that's also why it's restricted to 1. So for me, it's like A or B.
I definitely place it in a B, just because of the repercussions you can have with it.
Fair. And of course, for anybody watching this or seeing this back here, you can always just put your opinion about your own splash tier, or what you think about this tier list, or make your own and publish it. It's all good. It's all good fun. Speaking of damage mover, what is that card again?
Move 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon.
That is trash.
That is inherently trash.
Do you even splash, bro?
Yes.
Like, wait, before we go that far, however, suppose you have braked your Magikarp, and you have one on the bench that has a Fighting Fury belt attached.
No,
can...
no, just no,
no,
no, no.
You know what? For the people,
because you'd rather have the Fighting Fury belt guy in the active.
Okay, oh my god, wow! For the people out there, please write that you disagree with Jesper in this or whatever. But I will, for the sake of like Jesper needs one of his very few victories in life. He needs to get this one down and do your even splash bro tier. Fine.
Just a reminder, I have more victories than you in my life, so that's fine.
Irrelevant division, I think I remember. And oh yeah, I should also congratulate you with your 2 day 2s, where the first one had to come via staff. Well done, Jesper. So delivery drone, you have to flip as many heads to this to work as many times you have day 2 this season.
Well, that's a really good card.
Delivery drone is good,
but one thing that we have to make sure of is that delivery drone hits the same tier as old PC once that comes, because the cards are the same.
Honestly, I think old PC is slightly better within the same tier. Within the same tier.
But here's where we get the tier, right? Because, I mean, I'd argue that you have to play old PC in your deck, and we are arguing like I'd argue a solid B to C tier card.
I'm gonna go this one for C tier purely for the fact that this delivery drone will only work 25% of the time, and the probability becomes too low to justify anything higher, even though the effect is good. But
it's 25% of the time, all the time.
Does it mean if I use it 4 times, it's 100%, right? I learned that on the internet here the other week.
Well, I don't know where on the internet you learned that. But
I should maybe pick that in my classroom. That's a great theorem. So if you do this 4 times, it will succeed, because 25 times 5 is 100%, right?
25 times 5?
Yeah. You have to add BTV, or what do you call it? Mums.
Add VAT? Gotta add VAT? No.
25 times 4 is 100, right? So, okay, C tier, it's fine.
Yes, but definitely just for everyone out there not to be confused with this math guy. If you play this 4 times, no, you're not guaranteed.
What? What are you saying? What? Your math skills. Oh my god.
I just mathed you.
Oh no. Yeah. Wow. I hope anybody could feel the sarcasm in the voice here. But speaking of that, dual balls.
Oh, definitely like solid epic splash here.
Dual ball is a must-play card in your deck. It is
and therefore must. Epic splash here.
So I actually have a little note about it. In the past, dual ball was not an epic splash in the OG version. There was Pokeball, but Pokeball is too strong for this format now because you can find evolution pieces on it.
Which is just so weird that we even have to say the fact that Pokeball is too good.
Pokeball too good, but now Dual Ball is an epic splash card. You will not play this without. And without further ado, I'm also just gonna, not take your advice on this or anything of that, but I'm gonna place Digger up in epic splash tier.
No, dude.
Digger. It's like the best card in the whole format.
No, it is one of the funniest way. Of course, one of the only ways to one shot an epic splash. A magic card break with epic splash, but Fighting Fury Bell does it a lot better. And the amount of times where you hurt yourself on Digger.
No. You know what? Go dig yourself a hole somewhere, Jesper, because this is not even no.
You could dig it down from epic splash tier to A tier.
That's okay. And it gets there because it has a special place in my heart, this card. It is one of the funniest cards. Speaking of a funny card, that's I got a E for Aneporter.
I'd agree.
Tier.
I'd agree.
The card, okay, I will give fairness to the card. It's the highest E tier card we're going to have so far.
Mm.
Why? Because you could move away the splash energy and then take a knockout.
That is pretty good on Magic Card breaks because, of course, with this format, unlike the OG format, you only get a Magic Card break once.
But wait.
So therefore,
that's a D tier. Yes, but it's a D tier. Hear me out. Hold. Hear me out.
Okay.
You can also, it's proxy energy removal. You can simply move from the active, not only take the splash away, so you negate the effect, but also simply just remove the energy, which can be good because all decks only play 6 energies.
Yeah.
I will argue for moving it up to D tier.
I'd argue to agree.
My God, what is this kind of madness? What do we have next? What am I looking at here?
Energy Amplifier.
What the hell is that?
So, you could choose an energy card in your hand, show it to your opponent, and shuffle it into your deck. Then flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards, show them to your opponent, and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Think if it says tails, nothing happens.
I
Um,
believe so. You know, the good thing is I have the epic splash list of
it
anybody there. It
it
has all
doesn't
the pictures.
say. So I think in these cards, these older cards, where if it doesn't say, of course, this is base set. If since you already shuffle in the card, if you flip tails, nothing happens.
Yes, bro, I would like to correct you. This is not base set. This
What
is a
is
Neo card.
whatever. Same. I wasn't
think
born.
I. That's actually weird to think about. But in choose an energy in your hand, swap it in, flip a coin, heads, yeah, tails don't, nothing happened. Okay, yeah, so this sounds like a terrible card.
Yes.
Do you even splash, bro?
Yes. Definitely.
There you go. Then we have power charge or energy charge.
E for energy charge.
It is one of the few ways you can get energy back, I would say.
Yes, but still ain't great. But it does say energy card, so we can actually lift it up to D tier, I feel. Because you
it
can
says
actually
energy
get
card.
splash. You can
Indeed.
splash with it.
I would D tier for that, but I would still put it below Porter because you have to flip for this.
Yes.
Which gives you energy restore.
Yep.
I find that a better card. That's a better card. Simply because, you know what? You can flip.
You get
flip
free flips.
Times. You get. You know what's better than one flip, Jesper?
2?
No, 3. But okay, you get the point. So, what about it? So we're gonna put up to energy restore for. What are we looking at here? Whoops. Let's not get this coding stuff in here. I think I messed up the screen for a moment. But energy restore, we put it up in C tier card.
Yes.
You know you're allowed to disagree, but I love you agree with me. This is fine. This is better than the time I have my wife.
Well, that's how it works.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, captivating Poképuff. I believe that is a trainer card version of Erica's Invitation.
Yes. Pretty good. I don't know about in every splash format. It doesn't sound too great. Because your opponent wants to bench those Pokemon. I don't feel like playing it, honestly, when I'm making a list up.
Nah, this is a solid A tier card.
No.
You know why? You get to see your opponent's hand.
Yes, but does that make it A tier when we have other things that could see your opponent's hand?
No, I'm just shitting with you. Of course, this is this of course like E tier. This of course
this would be you arguing that hand scope is definitely S tier, which is not happening.
I put it at high E tier just because it's a Pokebuff. It's a candy thing. It's a cake.
Yeah, we like cakes.
Okay, Jesper, we have a serious contender for Epic Splash tier coming in.
Best card in the deck. Best card in the deck. Yes.
And we take no arguments about this. It's put on top.
We take no arguments on Gambler for everyone out there. Gambler is amazing.
Gambler is like the best card in format. If you haven't played it, you've been missing out.
If you're not playing Gambler in your deck, you've done something wrong.
Yeah. Go and reassess your life choices.
Yes, for sure.
Moving on. Greedy Die.
Oh, yeah, that was a 4-off in the OG.
I didn't play it, but you played it, right?
Yes. And actually, I have a funny story. Last time I went to regionals in Stockholm, I saw a crazy amount of Greedy Die hats. And I also did win a game where someone pulled off Slowking against me with the OG decks. Now, Greedy Die, of course, you have to prize it.
That's the problem. Do we have anything that moves to your prize cards?
No.
But your opponent could flip your prize card, you know?
Yeah, but it has to be face down.
Oh, then it actually negates that.
It actually makes it way worse because of card flip game being so good.
Yeah, so for that reason, I would put it in the lowest D tier.
I'd say E, dude, honestly. Because you got to think about it like this. You have to price it first, and card flip game flips prices.
The upside is so massive.
But it's 50% upside.
Hey, you have Delivery Drone with 25% sitting up in C tier.
Yeah, but Delivery Drone doesn't get flipped into prices and say it's just rendered useless. You can actually get rid of Delivery Drone as well, so your deck is not that thick.
You just have to price better. Flip better.
Oh yes, yeah, shuffle better, brother.
This
Yes,
also
that's right.
this also becomes now we have Twilight Masquerade out there. Then of course the only correct choice for Chansey is the lucky bonus Chansey because you want to flip for greedy dice basically, right?
Of course.
Nobody's gonna kill it with cram. That's a myth.
No, never.
So greedy die, I'll put it in D tier, and you shut up. Thank you. Now we have Gym Badge.
B tier.
Funny enough, I'm not gonna argue against that. You know why?
Guess it's Misty.
Oh well, you can make a ranking within all the badges.
Yes.
Myself, I play a Lieutenant Surge badge because that was the one I have laying around. I also think that you can play 2 in the format. I think I play Lieutenant Surge, and I think my other one is a Blaine because Blaine, like you have to play the Blaine one. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah, no blame on that.
He fits this best here, but yeah, well, we have to take it as a gym badge. It's good to draw cards. The expected math question to you, Jesper. What's the expected number of cards to draw from a gym badge?
0.5.
Incorrect. It is 1. For people who want to know the answer to that question, Pokémath episode number 4 will answer this question. Did you see what I did there?
I just play it and roll my dice, dude. I don't care about it.
Yeah, you know what? But that's also why it's a B tier. It's a B tier, and because too many heads can also destroy you.
Well, you just win the game by pulling off the evolution.
Nah,
I've seen 11 heads in a row.
I've done 10 myself, and I lost on it because I decked out quicker than my opponent.
Oops.
Hand scope.
Below capturing Pokebuff for sure. I'd argue E.
But capturing Pokebuff is in the high E. It's the highest E tier card we have right now.
Well, then we're splat. Then we're Deviant Splash.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Because you'd never play Hand Scope over capturing Pokebuff.
That is indeed correct. Now we have Imposter Oak's Invention. Can you read it out for the people who don't know this card? Because this is again one of the...
Yeah, that is a funny one of sorts. You look at your opponent's prize cards. You may have your opponent shuffle them into his or her deck. If you do, your opponent takes that many cards on the top of his or her deck and sets them aside as his or her new prize cards. So it's basically a Rotom deck for your opponent.
Yeah, and speaking of, do we allow Rotom decks in this format?
I don't think so.
I'm noting that up for maybe later because that's a really cool card. But okay, about the Imposter Oak Revenge here, this is also a counter if your opponent plays Greedy Die. But fun thing is, it's not a surefire thing. You can actually make stuff even worse for yourself, funny enough.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'd argue that Rotom deck is actually just a better card.
So here's what I did once. There was what do you call it? Chaos Gym in play. I play Imposter Oak. I flip tails. My opponent uses Imposter Oak on my prices and makes my prices much better. That can happen in Epic Splash, buddy. So where is Imposter Oak?
That is. I'd argue D tier to E.
Fine, I'll put it in the lowest D tier because it has a nice effect otherwise. I have another Epic Splash contender. It is what I call a nuke self-destruct button that is implemented in the game. And
S tier. Epic Splash tier.
Epic Splash
Last
tier.
is so good.
Last is like one of the best cards we have allowed. It's also the reason we allow 1. And you know another fun fact about this card, Jesper?
It's better than Getsus?
Technically, it's double-sided Getsus, but it's a trainer. And second, you can play it in Dutch. And there it's called Meisje. So for the Dutch listeners out there, have fun with getting your Dutch meisjes. But go and enjoy that. Which comes to the letter of encouragement. You need to take a knockout in order to play this card. You can search for some energies.
No, you don't need to take the knockout. Your opponent has to take the knockout. Yeah,
you're already falling behind when this happens. So I've seen one played in my tournament here. Person agreed that this card was trash.
Yes, E. D.
It's E because you could actually use it for something.
It's E for encouragement, buddy.
E for encouragement, but I put it below Brock and above the arcade game.
Yeah, agreed.
Maintenance, that's a good one.
That's an actually good card. And we're at least high C tier. At least, like, you gotta think, this actually guarantees drawing a card. Although your hand sizes are really fluctuating throughout the game. Yeah, later stage of the game, you have a really massive hand.
No,
but this also saves from deck out.
Jesper, I know the people out there, their ears are bleeding from listening to you for so long already, but I think this is definitely a B tier.
You could make me think that, yes. It's a guaranteed draw 1, and it's an anti-deck out sort of thing.
Sort of thing, right? So that way, okay. Now here comes Team Rocket almost, but the minion of Team Rocket. That is a fun effect. Have you played it?
No, I've not.
I've seen that being won with. That you flip double heads on that. You flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, you choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and shuffle it away, I believe.
No, return it to
their hand. Yeah, fine, but it goes away. But if you flip 2 tails, your turn is over immediately. And if one of each, nothing happens. So I've seen this being played. Double heads, followed with a double heads epic splash for game.
It's like it's like in expanded when you can use Star Chronos and then Tina Chomp's GX attack to discard the last one.
So indeed, you have to have 2 heads first. That's 25%. Then you have to follow up with another 2 heads for this to work. Then you're down at 12.5, 625, right? So it has an incredible cooldown upside, but it is no higher than a D tier.
No.
High D tier is above Enid Water.
Yep.
Mr. Fuji.
He's a funny guy because he can heal, but I'd argue worse than Brock.
No, I argue he's better than Brock because it goes back in your deck and prevents deck out as well.
Okay,
I got convinced by one of my friends who played multiple Mr. Fuji in his deck.
Multiple?
Yep, because he played High Pressure System to get free retreat, take a hit with your Magikarp, retreated Mr. Fuji into the deck for full heal.
Yeah, but then again, he has to also play Energy Recovery in that case.
No, because what does Mr. Fuji say?
Choose a Pokemon on your bench.
And?
But he has to retreat it.
Yeah,
first.
But High Pressure System gives you free retreat.
Oh, true that. Oh, yeah.
There's a combo here. He made me aware of this combo. And so a big shout out to Will Yon for that one. And for that, I'm going to move Fuji up in high D, low C.
I say a low C.
Yeah.
That's a good combo. Good job.
Yeah, good job figuring that one out. So this is what's really fun about the format. You can find all these small intricate combos. And speaking of the next card, we have a Night Pokemon Center. And everybody will believe that's an old card. It's not as old as you would think.
It's not even older than me. This was released when I started playing.
Yeah.
And it was trash.
Yeah, it was trash, and it still is trash. So what does it do?
Choose one of your Pokemon, flip 2 coins. If both are heads, remove all damage counters from that Pokemon. But for tails, discard all energy attached to that Pokemon.
I don't know about you, but this is an E tier card for me. I just find it so bad.
But if you're saying that High Pressure System plus Fuji is a legit combo, Night Pokemon Center is like playing Battle City, right?
I can say a lot of things about Battle City, and that's not one of them.
Upside potential is huge, but yes, I'd argue for a low, very low D in that case, because the card's actually okay in that regard.
My God, I don't know what stuff you've been running around and sniffing, but you should stop it right now. Like this, T tier, then whatever. But then you're also going to listen when I say Nugget is an A tier card.
No.
Nugget is... Oh, that's right. You're actually right, because it's S tier. That card is amazing. How many times I've not drawn on this card, be like, oh, Nugget, nice. And, it's a nice surprise. And Nugget, and you shuffle it back in with your maintenance. When it happens to your hand.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, we always keep a Nugget on us, right?
B tier. Okay, B tier. Fine.
Yes, B tier. Thanks.
And old PC will go in C tier, but above Delivery Drone.
Yes,
it is marginally better.
It is marginally better because it recovers the evolution pieces.
Fine, and then moves to Old Rod.
Yes.
Old Rod is cool. I like it. Like, it doesn't work half the time.
I want to flip double tails on that baby.
Exactly. It's one of those rare cards where you want to flip double tails, because then you may take back a trainer card. If it's 2 heads, you can take back a Pokemon, which can recover evolution pieces. Let's not forget that. But half the time it doesn't work. So it's like, for me, it's a C, high, or low B.
High C.
I'm okay with that. Peking Red card.
It's like it's better than captivating Pokebuff.
Yeah, for hand information purposes, I can get you that far.
Yes, and disruption.
That is true.
Because on the early stage of the game, if your opponent has like Birch in hand, you peek and red card them, the likelihood of them actually getting a hand they can get away from is actually very low.
Fair point. Fair
So
point.
therefore, I'd actually argue. Well, where do we put capturing Pokebuff again?
E tier, high E.
High E. I'd actually argue for peeking red card in like the high D, if not low C.
Oh, you're getting a high D and that's it. And the only reason you're getting that is because I actually played this in standard format when it was legal.
I played and expanded with the Zoroark
I,
Exodia deck.
I played at nationals.
I did not.
And I won round 1 on PK red card because I played Night March into Greninja.
Okay.
And then you peeking red card the opponent turn 1.
Instead, you think about it. That could have been an extra acrobyte, which has been better into everything else.
Yeah, but I won the game, so it's fine.
Jeez.
Picnic basket. Is that legal?
Yeah, it's bad though.
As one off. Yeah, but it's a heal 30 on everything. And I would like to give a shout out to Sander Wojcik for actually putting this in a standard deck and playing with it in an event.
Yeah, it's pretty good for the purposes he wants to, because he's not doing any damaging. So the picnic basket is not a double-edged sword in this case.
It's a D tier. D tier.
Yes, D for picnic basket.
yeah, I'm putting it in high D though.
Yes.
Then we have Pokemon Catcher.
See, it actually has some legit usage.
It has legit uses, 50%. I'm okay with that. We don't even have to discuss that long and hard. And of course, this is with the errata that you have to flip for it. Obviously, yes. It's not just a free gust. Now, moving into one of our arguably S or A cards, that's a random receiver.
I mean,
we only allow one though. It's good.
We only allow one because of it's good. And I'd argue for it's either high A or low Epic Splash.
I'm okay with a high A. Reason being is that
it has to be highest A though.
Yeah, it is highest A. I'm with you there. Look. I would like to everybody take note about this. I'm agreeing with Jesper for once. This is a very rare occasion. So if you ever watch us back on this,
you've done it like 3 times now.
Blah 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 blah. No, we don't even talk about that. So we have high A tier for random receiver because you could random into. It's how to make your supporter mix, right? So now I would like to argue for the card in Dutch known as Kringloop, but in English it's called Recycle. It's a very good card.
It is definitely an Epic Splash contender card. Yeah, because that card is so good.
Yeah, but I will put it in A for the flip. For the 50-50 doesn't give you anything. Low A for me. If not even B tier. I'm even moving it down to B tier.
Why?
Because half the time you can't do anything with it. It's just a burnt card. Yes, you can put back anything. And of course, that's also why...
Evolution pieces.
Yeah, but it's the same for all PC. And yes, you go from 2 flips to 1. And instead of putting your hand, you have the downside you put on top of your deck. But it's still only 1 flip. So I value that 1 flip to 1 tier higher in B tier, not 2 tiers higher A.
That does make sense.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, I was just gonna, before you start arguing again, I put it in somewhere in B tier.
Might be, honestly.
Okay, I have seen a return label card being played. I would like to say that. My friend Bert played in his deck, and it actually was very annoying.
Now, how did it work out for little Bertha?
Well, he won some games. I don't know if he won that game, but in any case, there he did use it. So we have a return label which says that you take a card from your opponent's discard pile and put on bottom of their deck. I actually not quite sure when you would use this. I find the card terrible myself.
Yeah, I do find it terrible. It's like you take a greedy die and put it into your opponent's deck?
I think that's kind of the only uses for it, which is why I'm putting it in E tier and not do even Splash Bro.
Yeah. Because it does have some rolling A tier.
Rolling into A tier.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We don't even have to discuss that. Some cards are easy. Then we have Sabrina's Psychic Control. Now, here's a card that I value very highly.
Flip a coin if heads, Telepass.
Telepass, basically. And that's why I put it in high B, maybe low A even.
I almost say low A, because the upside of this card is just so good that, like, I mean, of course it's not very good in the early stages of the game, but after, like, turn 3-4, you get value.
Yeah, maybe. And look at it. With this, we already in S for all the trainer cards. We're getting somewhere for this list here. But we still have some ways to go. It's okay. We can see here there's still some ways to go, but we're getting somewhere. Moving into surprise box. That is
It's
similar
almost
to
like return label.
almost, but it's
It's a bit better.
bit better. I would marginally put it better.
Yes.
Tormenting Spray is as bad. What Tormenting Spray does, you take a random card from your opponent's hand, random. If it's supported, they shuffle it away, I believe.
No, to discard it.
It's still bad.
Yes.
Still bad. So it's still an. This is do you even Splash Bro or lower E, low as possible E.
I say lowest E because it actually does do something.
What's the next card? That is
Team Rocket's Evil Deeds. So look at your opponent's hand and choose a card there. Your opponent shuffles that into his or her deck. Then your opponent may draw up to 2 cards. That's actually legit. Although you give your opponent 2 cards, but I mean, if you take away the Birch first turn.
Yeah. Low D, lowest D.
Yeah.
And then we put Trash Exchange in S because it's hilarious.
Trash Exchange A. There's
okay. Let's be some legit things about this here. It's B tier at best because
it's card's so good, man. Like you just shuffle better, card's great.
Oh God, I'm being infected with bad play from Jesper. We have to Jesper. God damn it, stick that in your coaching lessons. I'm not going to be part of that.
Of course, I don't say stuff like that because it's wrong.
What?
That is a definite meme.
It's a B tier, at best, if not C even. It's lower. It gets lower by the minute now.
B for Trash Exchange. Shut.
Okay. Tropical Tidal Wave?
Tropical Wind. We got Tidal Wave later. But flip a coin if heads, remove 2 damage counters from each active Pokemon.
I think it's Tropical Tidal Wave first.
No, it's Tropical Wind first.
It's Tropical Tidal Wave. I just confirmed it. So no.
That means something got moved on my end.
So Tropical Tidal Wave. Flip a coin if heads, discard all trainers and stadium cards your opponent has in play. If tails, discard all you have in play.
This actually made top 8 of Worlds in 2012.
Sure, but is it also a top cut Epic Splash card?
No.
Speaking of, it's not bad.
It discards all tools. It discards all stadiums, so it means that it discards a parallel city. It discards.
Yeah, but I'm putting it in C tier, and I'm generous.
Yeah. That's also very generous of you, but I think low C tier is good for it.
And then we have, of course, Tropical Wind now. So what does that do, Jesper?
I just read it. Okay. Flip a coin if heads, remove 2 damage counters from each active Pokemon. If tails, each active Pokemon is now asleep.
It feels nice to read a card that you're never going to be able to earn, right?
I'm never going to be able to earn?
Sorry, I was just assuming you're not able to qualify for Worlds.
I qualify for Worlds every year. I have that.
That also means for everybody complaining about the system out there, it is as you can see, the bar is set way too low. The bar is way too low, guys.
They try to make it 500, and yet I still got 600 points.
So that means we need to raise the bar even more because the bar is too low when you let Jesper in for Worlds.
Yeah, but no matter where they set the bar, I will reach it.
Wow. We have that now. So Tropical Wind.
Yeah. It can stall a few turns if you flip tails. And the healing part of it is nice. It's better than Brock. It's better than Damage Mover for sure.
So it becomes a D tier card because of that.
Yes.
And with that, we go into another S tier card.
Epic Splash card, yeah.
Epic Splash card versus Seeker is one of the best cards we have ever released.
Yes, it is one of the best cards ever released in a game at all.
And then we move over to... we don't even have to discuss that very much. We can go to Wait and See Hammer instead.
That is the complete other end of the spectrum.
Do you even Splash Bro? I have still yet to see this card be played. It's trash.
Yes. And then we jump back up to Epic Splash tier again.
For a Field Blower. And, Field Blower, you get an A tier. But if you play Windstorm, you get S tier.
Card's the same, man.
Windstorm is cooler. That's it.
Yeah, but the effect's the same. You got to do this by effect.
I'm making the list.
There's no windstorm on the thing here.
Yeah, but that means that Lee gets a -1 in my book because you should play Windstorm, not Field Blower. But that's why we put it in the highest A tier.
Yeah, fair enough.
X Transceiver.
It's a pretty good card. See?
B.
Low B.
Okay, that was easy. Now comes a fun card. I don't play it, but remember the regulations stipulate that if you could take a knockout while being confused, hence Yellhorn will confuse both opponents.
Honk.
Honk, indeed. So, I would play the card if I didn't forget to put it in last time. Whoops. I think it's fun. But of course, I've also lost on the card.
Oh, yes. I mean, the card's legit.
Cards.
And I'd argue for a C tier because of the stipulations we have around it.
You know what? That's fine by me. Like, I'm being a very good brother today.
If it wasn't for the rules, this would be definitely D. But for the rules we have in place right now, it's definitely a C.
Yeah, I think also again for people who really want to check it out, just the document below, check it out, go and splash. I've even read. I got tagged in a post. They had an Epic Splash National Championship in Chile. Huge thing. They made a cool mat and everything for the winner. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Big shout out for that. Hey Jesper.
I mean, I just love to see Epic Splash because I remember I actually taught some Chileans to play Epic Splash once I was at LAIC.
Absolutely worth it. Now, Billowing Smoke. I believe that is the newest addition to Epic Splash. Before we add in any cards from Twilight Masquerade, which will happen very soon. I think there's a card there that's going to go in Epic Splash, but that's for foreshadowing a little bit. But Billowing Smoke, what about it?
I mean, it does have a good upside of discarding the prize, but the prize could also be trash. I'd definitely say, a D tier for this.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Which moves into the Technical Machine Devolution.
Yeah.
You have one case an entire game where you can use it.
It's because the Magic Art Break functions as a V-Star, right?
It's an evolution. Yeah, indeed. You evolve it.
Yes. So it functions as a V-Star evolve. And therefore, I'd actually argue that the devolution actually gets better than I would have put it.
Otherwise, it was useless. Come on, like had you not been, there was no evolutions to go for. So
unless you did 30 to Magic Art Break and then you devo it, but then it's also useful if it's just like a splash evolve. But I mean, I'd argue, are we close to E tier here?
It is an E tier, but the highest E tier, which gives us the buffer piece.
That's good.
Buffer piece is nice. It can literally buy your turn. Easy peasy. Yeah. So, but that's also for that. It's more like it's a pee in your pants to keep yourself warm strategy.
It's a D. It's a Duffer Pierce now. Duffer piece.
Okay. It gives me counter attack clause for C tier.
Is this Pokemon?
If there's attack damage, you can flip a coin. Heads, you do 20 back.
Yeah, sure enough. Low C. Very low C.
He's not going to see. Hey guys, he's not going to see. We're going to move it a little up in C tier because...
You shouldn't say it.
You didn't hear anything. Energy Link. Do you even splash, bro?
Yes.
That card is like... You have to have 2 in play to make it work.
We have allowed 4 of them, right?
Let's go down to the tools and see what we have. Yes, we did, of course. We have another...
Which moves us up to S tier.
S tier card. Fighting Fury Bell is good. What people also need to realize about Fighting Fury Bell, I'm putting it as the second highest card below Gambler.
Yes, Gambler, there's no way that Gambler ever gets beat.
No, so what people would see with this card is that yes, you can Windstorm or Field Blower, but you can also use Tropical Tidal Wave. We have a few cards, of course, that can go against it, so it is counterable. But of course, you need to be careful with it. But it is definitely, undoubtedly, S tier card.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
moving over to Paralyzing Gaze as a TM devolution.
Yes,
Or TM machine.
multi-technical machine 01.
Thank you for saying it like that.
The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Well, that's pretty good. It buys your turn, but is it just like Buffer Piece where you pee yourself in your pants to get warm and it suddenly just gets really cold?
But in this particular case, you're sure. I
Yes.
find it better than Buffer Piece.
It is way better than Buffer Piece for sure.
So that's why it goes up in the lowest C tier instead of D tier. Okay.
Yes.
Now we have a tablet, a mystical plate Delta. I allowed 4 of it, or we allowed 4 of it. It comes with an attack, Healing Oasis. If your opponent has 5 or more prize cards, so in the beginning of the game basically, you can search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and show them. If they have exactly 2 prize cards, remove all damage. I want to play the card, but I never added it because there was just better cards.
Yeah.
But it is funny.
Yeah, but it's also the feeling I get there are better cards.
And then again, you only play 3 basic energies, so you can only find 3 basic energies if the energy attached is a splash.
Yeah.
E tier for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Highest E tier though. I find it better than Devolution. But okay.
It is better in Devo, for sure.
Now we have a good card, I think. Solid Rage. Why is that good? If you're behind a prize, you do 20 more. That's a really cool
you
card.
You get to knock out Magikarp Break a lot easier.
Yep.
It also puts in the combo of like if Parallel City's in play.
You can counteract Parallel City if you're behind, yes.
Yeah, because it's like you can actually attach a Fighting Fury ability to Magikarp. Parallel City is play red side towards you. Well, that doesn't work with the Fighting Fury ability.
So Solid Rage for me becomes a good C tier card.
That is a very good C tier, yes.
Below old PC and delivery drone. Yeah.
Below old PC, above delivery drone.
So in the middle of those two. Okay,
yeah.
Fine. Then we go to Stadium cards. And now, first, a very good comment about Stadium cards here. You obviously play Lucky Stadium, not Battle City. Lucky Stadium is the only correct choice.
Because of that funny guy in the middle.
That too.
The card designs is way better on Lucky Stadium.
That true. That 100%. And there's also many reasons why Battle City is just a disgusting card to play. So you should instead just play Lucky Stadium. So Lucky Stadium itself, nice stadium card. Can flip for an extra coin, for an extra card. Works the whole time. Can have a little downside. Your opponent helps, but it's not Battle City at least. So B.
Yeah. B for Lucky Stadium.
Yeah. Wow. And then we have another S tier card.
Yeah. Gym. Like Chaos Gym can kill the game.
Chaos Gym only has the downside of it literally makes the game like stand still.
Yeah, until someone draws a stadium card.
Yeah, so it is such a strong card, such fun, and half the FAQ list is based around how interactions are done with Chaos Gym because it is chaos.
Yes, and I could say every single regionals I go to always got a question about Chaos Gym.
Yeah, because Chaos Gym is very hard, but it's a very good card, but also why it's limited to 1. Moving on for High Pressure System. I would have trashed
that combo your friend.
Yeah, that's the only reason I actually give it a lot more credit now.
Yes.
So I'll put it together with... Where is Mr. Fuji? He's in C tier. I'll put it in C tier together with Mr. Fuji.
A little bit lower than Fuji, though.
I'll put it right below Fuji then. Like if people are seeing on the screen here, we're getting getting filled up a little much on my line. My C line is filled up right now. So let's see what happens when I put in the next. People have to remember I'm not gonna tweak the screen. It would just mess up my whole screen. Now we're moving over to Holland Circle. Holland Circle in this case is a good card too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I find a good B card, B tier.
Yep.
And it's good when we have easy cards like this here. So I'm looking over at the stadiums right now. We just go into Mirage Stadium. What does that do again? Because that's one of these very mystical cards. Whenever players try to retreat.
Yeah, whenever a player tries to retreat their Pokemon during his or her turn, that player flips a coin. If heads up, player retreats the Pokemon and discards energy. Normally, if tails up, Pokemon can't retreat this turn. The player doesn't discard any energy, of course. So it's a retreat blocker. But it's not good because it's not often you have to retreat. Of course, we have the high pressure system Fuji combo, but if high pressure system is in play, Mirage Stadium is not in place, the discard is terrible.
Yeah, it's just an E tier.
I'd almost argue for D even Splash, bro. Like, this has no home in anything.
Okay, fine by me. Although I find it still not worse than Tormenting Spray.
Okay, fair enough. You can put it above Tormenting Spray.
I'll do that in E tier. Parallel City.
S.
A.
Oh, why A though instead of Epic Splash tier?
Reducing 20 is you're not unambiguously good. I give you that much, but
Of course, it's not better than Chaos Gym.
I'm also comparing it to the cards we have up in S right now, which is why I think it's a strong A card.
Yeah, it has to be top A.
Okay, fine by me. Moving on to Pokemon League Headquarters.
That's funny. But it blocks your own attack.
Well, it does it now. You can just attach another energy.
Yeah, but you have to hit the energy, right?
You can also just attach another energy. So for me, it's like a nice C tier.
Yeah.
Which means that I'm just going to put it somewhere in C. Oh, it gives an extra line. I didn't know that. Cool. But it also means F is all below here. Do even splashes out of screen now.
Yes, they should.
As it should. Now we move over to Power Tree. I like that card. I think it's fun. Power Tree is fun. You can retrieve one of your basic energies from your discard pile, if provided you have no special energy there. So it provides some funny situations.
It does, but then again, we can't play any more basic energy than we do, because it's part of the locked-in list. So it does create, a sort of situation where you're not guaranteed to actually get anything out of Power Tree. Of course, your opponent also gets to use it in that case. The card's not good.
That's okay. So it's a D tier. Fine.
Yes,
fine.
yes.
I put it below Greedy Die D tier. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Rocket's Minefield Gym, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. It's actually pretty funny.
That's funny. 20 damage. It's just highly situational.
As all the cards in this format are.
Wow, okay. Which for me makes it a C tier. At best, if not D.
D.
High D.
Yes.
Snowpoint Gym.
That is a good card.
Snowpoint Temple, I think it is, or whatever it's called. That card is great,
Temple.
but remember, it doesn't work with the break. For anybody out there, it doesn't add your hit points to the break because it's no longer a basic.
It's a break evolution.
Exactly. So that's why I put this card in...
Yeah, because what was the rule with Level Lexus back in the day? They didn't get plus 20, right?
No. But break is not the same as level X.
But those are the two closest things to each other.
Break was evolved.
Yeah, it's called break evolution. Yes,
Exactly.
I actually argue that level X is actually called being leveled up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still actually got the plus 20 HP.
Well, somebody had to look it up. This is far gone in the past, which is why I'm putting Snowpoint Temple up in C tier.
Yeah.
Putting it above the League Headquarters. I find that better. Which brings me to Apricorn Maker. So here's a card.
Instant setup.
Well, is it now?
Almost.
I play it, but that's because I chickened maybe a little too much and wanted an extra consistency card, I guess. Because yes, you can get your dual balls on that, but it's not a dual ball level card because it's a supporter you have to play to get your dual balls. Which means I put Apricorn Maker in maybe B tier.
I'd argue for high C. Because you gotta think about like B tier cards are cards you would play without like almost like thinking not too much about it.
Sure. I will put it in high C. Wink.
Funny. But it just blows over to another card, which is so good. And I'd argue better than Delinquent to some extent. But Cyber's Initiative.
Maybe I'm just lucky I don't get hit by this stuff here, but I find an A tier. I can live with that.
Yes, because like both Cyrus and Delinquent are so powerful in this format.
Which means I also put Delinquent up in A tier, or is Delinquent S tier?
Delinquent also A.
That was two very easy discussions. Like it was not even. I didn't even expect that to be that easy.
Because the cards are very much alike, right? So it means that they have to be around each other.
Yeah, but I put Delinquent higher because Delinquent doesn't require any flips, but it does require Stadium to be in play.
Yeah, but there's almost always Stadium in play.
Exactly. And then we come to Lima. That is one of the traditional OG Epic Splash cards because it's an excellent reset. Excellent, it's just a solid card in this format, funny enough.
Yeah, we might not. We might get a new Lima. Maybe.
We don't talk about that.
No, not yet.
Not foreshadowing anything. B tier for Lima.
Yes. B Lima.
Whatever you say. Imakuni.
Aye.
Before you say anything, this was played at my event. Somebody played Imakuni.
Were they successful at drawing the extra prize?
No. Not what I remember. But Imakuni is... It would have been Do You Even Splash Bro if it wasn't because we had the extra rule about the price card. That's what makes the card easier to me.
Yeah.
It brings it out of Do You Even Splash Bro because of that.
Was there ever even any useful combo with this in standard format or expanded?
Yeah. Not in the same time, but there was like an Inkay that could evolve for free from the deck if it was confused. I don't know if they were released at the same time. I don't think so.
Then expanded would definitely do that, but not good anyway.
Nah. Moving on. So we're looking at Mary's Impulse because, well, that's one of the newer cards also that was added a little later and was also frequently played at my event, I would say, and I also believe still frequently played because the card is quite nice.
Yes.
So Jesper, given the math earlier, what's the average number of cards you draw on Mary's Impulse?
2.
Very good. Good boy. Where do we put this card then? C?
Yeah, because you're well, you're not guaranteed to, but you're on average drawing 2 cards. So yes.
Which brings us over to Ortega. It's called.
Yes.
That card's bad.
I don't even know what does Ortega do.
It's standard legal, so challenge accepted, Jesper. You are playing it in your next standard event you're playing. That will be Worlds, right? Or
yeah, my next standard event is Worlds. I'm not going to do that.
Now we can play a league challenge home at Mom's.
I still won't play it.
Why not?
Because it's Ortega.
Fair enough. So, reveal their hand, choose a card, bottom of the deck, draw a new card. Well,
no.
In Epic Splash terms, it can do something.
But does it do enough to garner higher than a D tier?
No, it's D tier for sure. But
yeah. But speaking of, no discussions here. Birch, Epic Splash tier.
Are we doing this because he wears shorts under a lab coat?
Yes.
Okay.
And he wears sandals without socks in them. He's got style.
No comments. We're okay with this. Riley? I just took mental damage, but we're okay with this. Riley what about Riley?
I take mental damage just looking at the Riley card. It's bad. I've
been listening to you for the past hour. What do you think I'm doing here? Like, come on.
You're guaranteed getting 2 cards, but those 2 cards your opponent's gonna pick are terrible. Unless all 5 of them are really good. So
it's a card that pretty much emphasizes your whole being, I guess. So that means that makes it a solid E tier. Or D tier because you do get 2 cards.
D tier because you're guaranteed getting 2 cards.
And now we move over to an Epic Splash card. I will not take any discussions about this card.
No discussions. Definitely Epic Splash tier card. That card wins so many games. It's not almost every single game.
Even above Birch. Birch for me has an honorable place there, but no higher.
Yes, Handiwork's definitely up there.
I see a last card that went in here in the bottom that should have been under the tools, but it's snuck in here. So we arrived at our final card, which is Energy Root.
Yes. As long as Energy Root is attached to a Pokemon, that Pokemon gets plus 20 HP and can't use any Poké Power or Poké Buddies, but it's good that we don't have any of those in the format. So, now, it's pretty good.
It gives 20 more, and now here comes the case. People be like, why would you ever play this card when you have Fighting Fury build? Well, this works on the break.
Yeah, and also Fighting Fury build's restricted. So if you need extra buffing, well, you got this.
Yeah. It's solid B.
Yeah, agreed.
Card's
good. Yeah, card's good.
Card's good. I put it above Apricot Maker, I think.
Man, look at those guns that Energy Root has. Damn.
Yeah, you can only dream about that, Jesper. Not everybody has not everybody has your spaghetti sticks.
Yo, unreal.
Gotcha on that.
What?
So, ladies and gentlemen, without now, you are finally free. If you made it this far, congratulations. You have survived a full hour of listening to, especially Jesper, listening to Jesper for living here and surviving and not making your ears bleed. I hope you have a good health insurance otherwise. But otherwise, I guess a thanks goes to Jesper. Thank you, I guess, for helping out with this Epic Splash tier.
Well, you're welcome for having me on as a clear expert of this, of course.
I appreciate the work you're doing for Epic Splash. That is fine. We can live with that. Now, but all jokes aside and whatever, I hope all of you out there actually will pick up Epic Splash in the future because it is such a fun format. It is different if you need a good game in between games at regionals or just for a fun evening with friends or just something silly to play. This is the thing. And anyone you want to thank out there, yes, before we say goodbye?
Well, I just want to thank everyone playing Epic Splash and everyone coming up to me at regionals and saying, "Yo, Epic Splash is fun, Epic Splash is cool," and anyone asking questions. And I can actually see, especially in the US now, I've got a lot of people to pick up Epic Splash. Someone even making Epic Splash cubes.
Fantastic.
Shout
Shout out.
Podcast and Eric Richwell for that, and Rich Way, sorry. But yeah, it's been super cool to see how people have taken this format into them and like started playing, and definitely for sure we're gonna be see a lot of splashing once we hit Hawaii this summer.
I think this is amazing. Cool stuff, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this class in Stefan's Classroom, and I hope to see you back for another class in Stefan's Classroom. Until next time, bye everyone.
See ya.